Good evening. I am Marion High School Principal Greg Semler. I'd like to welcome you to this year's graduation ceremony and acknowledge that this is the 147th graduating class of Marion High School. We will honor our nation with the singing of the national anthem performed by our Marion High School choir members under the direction of Marion High School's vocal music director, Mr. Jonathan Dearland. Before this final song, it seems appropriate to give you a little history about the origins of the piece. Marion Loyalty premiered at the 2013 Marion High School ceremony in response to a lack of specific school song or choral literature. The melody for the song comes from Dvorak's Ninth Symphony, second movement. The melody was written in 1893 while he was on the road, and the famous composer was visiting Iowa and is now known as the New Symphony, the New World Symphony. Sorry. The lyrics to the song were adapted by Mr. Dearland to reflect the honor and pride students shared when discussing the memories of Marion High School. And now, Marion Loyalty by the combined Marion choirs under the direction of Mr. Jonathan Dearland.
Good evening. I'm Chad Zarudsky, Associate Principal at Marion High School, and I would like to introduce to you the Marion School Board, along with the Marion District Administration. Our school board members, Mrs. Sherry Funk, President, Mr. David Law, Vice President, Mr. Carl Lantermans, Mr. Bill Huntoon, Mrs. Denise Allison, Mrs. Diana Zarudsky, and Mr. John Fitch. I would like to recognize our Marion Independent School District administrators, Dr. Janelle Brower, Superintendent, Mrs. Gretchen Kriegel, Assistant Superintendent and Director of Special Education and Curriculum, Mrs. Christy Van Way, Business Manager and Board Secretary, Mr. Bob Scott, Director of Operations, Mr. Mike Murphy, Principal, Francis Marion Intermediate, Mr. Philip Cochran, Principal, Vernon Middle School, Dr. Kathleen Bevins, Assistant Principal, Vernon Middle School, Mrs. Annette Meyer, Principal, Starry Elementary, Mrs. Nicole Harmer, Principal, Longfellow Elementary. Mr. Mike Manderscheid, Activities Director, Marion High School. And Mr. Greg Semler, Principal, Marion High School. I would now like to introduce our first speaker this evening, Ms. Sydney Ward.
Good evening. On behalf of the class of 2020, I'd like to start out by giving a huge heartwarming thank you to those that helped get us to where we are today. All the time, money, blood, sweat, and tears haven't gone unnoticed, and words can't even begin to describe how beyond grateful we are for all that you have done for us, whether we like to admit it out loud or not. If I'm being completely honest here, I didn't exactly prepare what I wanted to say today that long ago. As much as this speaks to my procrastination skills, which I definitely displayed throughout my past 4 years here, this time I feel it was a little more justified. Much like everyone else, I wasn't completely sure that we'd be able to experience this day still. So at the end of our senior year getting ripped away from us so abruptly due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it's not hard for many seniors to feel that they got the short end of the stick graduating this year. However, I'd like to look at things through a more optimistic perspective. The past 4 years spent at MHS have been something I will never forget. I remember when I was in elementary school that the thought of high school felt a lifetime away. High school was just kind of that faraway goal that everyone told you was going to come sometime, but it felt surreal. Yet, despite my uncertainty of the future, I dreamed of the day that I finally did get to start high school. A high school where I could pop my comfort bubble and find something new I was passionate about. A high school where I'd be able to take all the classes that I wanted. A high school that could lead me to the perfect friend group. A high school that, as I went through life and all the obstacles that it threw at me, my peers and teachers would be along the way to support me. A high school that I would cherish so deeply that on graduation day, I would be consumed with a bittersweet sensation. And that's exactly how I feel today. See, Marion was able to give me all of these things, yet so much more. And I will never forget any of the good or the bad memories that I made here. Whether this be some of the new activities I tried while I was in high school, or discovering fun new Spanish songs during Musica Miércoles and Henkels, finding a new appreciation for the wonders of chemistry and physics and rays, even if I did struggle a little along the way, or indulging in all the delicious treats that Miss Tercy provided our mentor with during the first 3 years I spent here. All the memories I formed at Marion will stick with me for a lifetime, as I'm sure the rest of the class of 2020 can agree with. Today is the day that we have all been looking forward to for the last few years. Today is the day that starts our journey into the real world. Although this is extremely exciting for many of us, it can also be quite intimidating. See, many of us are leaving today and will be going off to further our education in some way, whether this be through a community college, a university, an apprenticeship, an internship. All of these are important steps that are going to help prepare us for our future dream careers. Meanwhile, other of us may be going right into the work field or going off to serve our country. No matter what path we have chosen, however, it's important for us to take advantage of all the opportunities that have been given to us. I'm not an expert motivational speaker by any means, but if I were to offer one piece of advice to those who are still listening to this speech, I would just say that I hope that you all take advantage and live your best lives. We can do this by not taking our opportunities for granted, but also by not being afraid to take risks that may be out of our normal comfort levels. I think it's important for all of us to work towards our greatest life potential, but I hope you hold close the memories that we made here at Marion. I know I will. Thank you, Class of 20, for the past amazing 13 years together. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to see what the future brings for you all. And now I'd like to welcome to the stage my classmate, Reed Coates.
Hello there. On behalf of the Class of 2020, I would like to thank our amazing teachers and staff, as well as supportive community. In light of recent events, your help and care for this class has made quite a difference, and I know each and every one of us are very thankful for what you've done. All of you will hold a very special place in our hearts. And now, I'd like to address the Class of 2020 for a moment. My dear friends, I know this is a very cliche thing to say in a graduation speech, but we've made it. We're here graduating, and I know this is very weird and disappointing having an online ceremony instead of a real one, and having our sports seasons canceled, and just not getting to participate in the activities that we love and enjoy. I know a lot of you, myself included, are quite devastated at this turn in events. As Sydney pointed out, we've had half of our senior year ripped away from us within the course of a few months. And so I want to give you some hope, give you something to hold on to during these rough times. In every story that is truly worth listening to, or reading, or watching, or really getting into, there always comes a point in time where it seems as if nothing could get better, that nothing can be normal again. It's a hopeless point, that there's no light at the end of the tunnel that you can see. Unfortunately, this is the situation that many of us find ourselves in, with everything being uncertain and definitely not being normal. However, the reason those stories were so good, that they were worth spending the time to watch or listen, and that they ever stuck with you or meant something at all, is that the character in those stories, they never gave up. They never just lay down and quit. They stood strong and made something of that situation. They never lost hope. This place in life right now is simply another chapter, and sooner or later, hopefully sooner, it'll be over. And it'll be what you made of this situation that decides how the next chapter starts. So I encourage you, don't give up and don't give in. Stand strong and never lose hope. Thank you all for the amazing memories and the time that we spent together. I wish you the best of luck in your respective futures. And now, I'd like to introduce one of the shining examples of the Marion way at this high school, Mr. Greg Simler.
Once again, I'd like to welcome you to the 147th consecutive graduating ceremonies of Marion High School. Seniors, your journey as a high school student ends today. This is a day of reflection for you, for all of us. Seniors, think back to orientation just prior to the beginning of your freshman year, to just a few days ago when you were in front of your school, driving through and celebrating your years of hard work with our senior parade. From our perspective, the staff of the school, this was a big day. We got to see you again after weeks of being apart. It was special. It was moving. It was emotional. It was amazing. We acknowledge and understand the changes we have made have been hard, but in all we do, all we experience, even in the most painful moments, there is recovery, growth, and reward. Related to this moment, we were hoping to have graduation as usual, with which we respect, look forward to, and is one of the most powerful experiences we get to participate in here at Marion High School. This year, we could not do this, so we adjusted. You adjusted. Our families adjusted. We have a number of steps in place to still honor our seniors as we added our senior parade. We thought it might be great, and it was. One of the most beautiful and rewarding things we got to see that day and experience were the very personal moments we got to share with you as you drove through the parade and made your stops. The spotlight was on you, honoring you as an individual. The group matters, but in our parade, we got to recognize you. With your family, with those that raised you, this was a red carpet moment for you, and when it was over, we wanted to do it again. You'll have other celebrations and moments of celebration in your existence, including in July with us. And we thank you for letting us celebrate that day with you. In this moment, this adjusted time, as we have faced the impact of the COVID-19, you have had to make many sacrifices. I want you to know we see this, feel this, and wish it were different. Our students work so hard to prepare for their spring sports and those seasons, and this was taken away. Our spring musical was canceled. All of our many exciting traditions we get to celebrate with our seniors, all altered, moved around, or dropped. We had many moments of grief around these losses, and rightfully so. Yet, what else did we see? We saw young people with resolve. We saw our school and our seniors take on distance learning and dig in, continuing to strive for their goals. We watched our seniors and National Honor Society members, with the guidance of Mrs. Johnson, conduct our first online National Honor Society inclusion ceremony. There was no quit there, just an inspirational can-do attitude, the attitude of our senior class, the attitude of our school culture. I'm not certain we're at past the grieving portion of missing out on the joy we had hoped for to experience in all of these moments, but we're getting there. And in this, as we have relearned in the past 2.5 months, one must do what one must do. We adjust, we fight, we battle, we do not give up. And we know this is a world challenge. Many lives have been affected negatively. And in this, I do think it's appropriate to pause for a moment, take a moment of silence for those who have lost loved ones in this time, and for the heroes on the front line in the healthcare system and that literally risk their lives and potentially their families' lives every time they report for duty. Thank you. We appreciate you. There are other quiet heroes too. Anyone going to work daily to keep this country moving in the safest way they can, knowing we all must play a role in helping many of these people. Many of these people are your parents. Make sure you thank them. I would also like to say I'm very proud of our Marion High School students. Throughout this time period, they are working at stores, providing a service, running a risk as well, as they are employed by stores focused on providing goods and service to our community. For me, as always, if you pay attention and really watch, this generation continues to impress. As mentioned, our students embrace distant learning. In this, we as a school had to adjust to using the very instruments, Chromebooks and cell phones, we had consistently to attempt to regulate and at times play a bit of tug of war with you over the past few years. In the end, although altered, learning skills and education remains the same. It takes effort and it takes engagement. School can provide avenues. Parents will guide you and support you. Others will attempt to influence you. But only you can understand what you need to do to find your place in this existence. You have worked hard on this skill as this graduating class altered Marion High School in some very important and exciting ways. We started in the fall with a competitive season in cross country, volleyball, and football. In addition, our other programs our seniors are part of excelled throughout the year. Cheer, competition cheer, show choir, robotics, dance, POMs, color guard were all terrific. Many of our senior class were an important part of our FCA. We had marching band success, students represented us at state and choir, speech, and our boys and girls basketball teams once again having exceptional years. Our boys and girls track and field teams, our tennis, golf, and soccer programs were all poised to have outstanding spring seasons. Our archery team, bowling team, all had great years. The senior class has been a part of a second in baseball program, a wrestling program that competes with pride, and a softball program that consistently competes at a competitive level. All great students, all representing Marion High School so proudly. Our seniors are what makes us strong. Our seniors led in all these successes. The class of 2020 was well represented by our speakers. Reed advised you to understand this is another chapter. I agree. Some chapters you write and they work the way you want. Some you write after you experience years of life. My advice here is look to understand events are special, but look to the joy that life gives you day to day. In this, you will always understand life is good, and when we value the little moments as much as the grand moments, life is very rich. In this time, one of the things families have said to me often, as they were at first frustrated by so much, but then adjusted and realized the most precious thing in their life was their children. And those children were now with them daily, all day. A blessing for some. Parents, as you know, or will soon learn, when our children leave us, we miss them. Value all the time you have with those that you love. Take no moment for granted, even the quiet, simple ones, like the ones we were blessed to experience with our children at home the past few months. Sydney reminded us things can change abruptly, and do not wait to try new things. Do it when it's an option. Embrace different. As you can all see, this class is ready to step away from the confines of Marion High School. We're proud of them for certain. Years ago, many applauded the speech that let students know they are not special. I have a different take on this, in particular this class. You are the first class in generations that when you tell stories about how tough you had it, you are being accurate. Matching the I walked to school in the cold uphill both ways, I think you are special. But that should only mean that this puts you in a position to do things your own way. You are special means you should understand nothing will be handed to you. You must work to find your place. But you are all very unique, and that is what you should understand. you honor this by using your gifts, whatever that means for you. It does not mean to look to be pampered or never stressed or never challenged or fail. You will and you should. That's okay. And fighting your way back, finding redemption, or making your mark is what really makes you special. On a bit of a lighter note, and understanding the seriousness of the issues we're facing, in no way do I care to diminish this, but what we do find in some of these moments, we find humor in this altered life we have all experienced for the past few months. I will mention just a few things I've learned. I used to do a top 10 list when I would give these speeches. This list, however, is in keeping with education and learning. This is what we learned in the past few weeks. Number one, we learned that this class took the notion of senior skip day way too far. Left for spring break and never came back. Two, we learned that when we are on camera in a Google or a Zoom meeting, it's important to keep in mind, you know we can see you. Three, the adults of my generation were reminded we experienced social distancing long before this time period. As we were children, we rode in cars with 5 people in the back seat or shared a room with 4 siblings, and in all these moments, enforcing the rule, don't touch me. Number 4, we learned and were surprised we could have 10-minute conversations with our friends about toilet paper. Number 5, students and teachers learned what it feels like to go to the restroom anytime you may need to. 6, we learned it's really hard to show your work online in a math class. This generation learned about the history of long lines long before hand sanitizers for much less serious concerns, Cabbage Patch Dolls, Beanie Babies, and Backstreet Boys tickets. This generation of parents now better understand, after having kids in the house, why years ago parents used to build so many forts and tree houses, anything to keep the kids outside. Number 9, we learned that dogs no longer eat homework, but Wi-Fi has become the dog or the homework eating dog of this generation. And finally, number 10, we learned in our downtime, our idle time, we learned it is best to stick with National Geographic and our science teachers if we want to learn about the life of tigers. You will experience a number of significant memorial events in your life. Today is one of those days. Always take time to ponder the moment you're in. Looking too far ahead or too far behind diminishes the moment you're in, and at times, the value of those you are with. Parents, guardians, this is a very special day for you. As a school staff, we respect, admire, and appreciate your efforts in preparing for this day. There's no more important mission than being a parent or a guardian. After today, they must learn to do much without you. They will. They will have trying moments, as will you. I wish you peace in this. Finally, to the class of 2020, we're honored to have been your teachers. Continue to be good students. Thank you.
We will now take a few moments to honor some special groups. Top 10. Riley Bruns, Reed Coates, Brianna Fentress, Bethany Foster, Josephine Hancox, Lauren Keithy, Cable Lauby, Madeline Lovejoy, Laura Olson, Jasmine Pisano, and Sydney Ward. These students have a cumulative grade point average of 4.06. Congratulations. Honors Program. To have the distinction of graduating with honors, students need to have completed 4 credits of English, 3 credits of social studies, 3 credits of math, 3 credits of science, and 3 credits of foreign language. Additionally, students must maintain a 3.5 GPA in the core areas. 28 students have completed these requirements. Congratulations. College credits. The graduating class of 2020 has earned 1,100 college credits during their time at Marion High School. National Honor Society. Let's take a moment to recognize our graduates who are members of the Marion National Honor Society. To be inducted into the National Honor Society, Students must have a 3.25 grade point average and have a higher than average rating by the Marion High School faculty in the areas of leadership, service, and character. There are 23 members of National Honor Society in the class of 2020. Well done. Silver Cords. We would like to thank our seniors who committed to the Marion High School philosophy of volunteering. In order to receive a Silver Cord, a student must accumulate at least 160 volunteer hours by volunteering in their school or community. This year, there are 39 Silver Cord recipients. The entire senior class has compiled a total of 10,817 volunteer hours. I would also like to acknowledge the most influential people in the lives of these graduates. Parents, grandparents, and guardians of this year's graduates, please let us take a moment to show you our appreciation of the role you have played in the lives of our graduates.
In addition, I would like to recognize a dedicated group of educators, the staff of Marion High School. Each year, our teachers, counselors, and secretaries and maintenance staff start the year with the same anticipation and excitement and possibility as our students do. Every 4 years, we see the students we have been blessed to have in our building leave us. We thank you for your efforts and dedication. I would also like to take a moment to recognize our Marion High School staff members that will not be with us next year. There may be no greater responsibility nor honor than to teach young people. The staff leaving us has done this well. Mrs. Tammy Gerdeman will be leaving us and moving to Vernon Middle School. Mrs. Mary Brandhorst, our longtime library assistant, will retire, and Ms. April Loomis, our librarian, will be moving out of state. You've all contributed to our students' development at Marion High School in your own way, and we all appreciate your efforts very much. I would like to introduce our Marion Independent School Board District President, Mrs. Sherry Funk. Mrs. Funk will accept our Marion High School 2020 graduates on behalf of the Marion Independent School Board.
Mr. Semler, the students we are honoring tonight exemplify all of the characteristics we as educators and school board members in the state of Iowa treasure in students. On behalf of the Marion Independent School District's Board of Directors, I am honored to accept your recommendation of the graduating class of 2020.
As we all know, we are presenting our fine Marion High School graduates today through our virtual ceremony. We would also like to remind you that we hope to conduct a modified tassel turning ceremony prior to our reception, which is planned for July 19th at 6 p.m. With great honor and respect, and in recognition of their dedication and perseverance culminating in today's ceremony, we are pleased to present the graduating class of 2020.
Cheyenne Autumn Aronson. Faith Nebras Algarib. Blake Matthew Almendinger. Eric Alexander Anderson. Caitlin Lee Arkand. Taylor Beth Arkand. Caden Maddox Ayers. Brecken James Bartles. Braden Mark Bettinga. Marika K. Bjornson. Alec Michael Bond. Sienna Catherine Brown. Redden Liam Bruner Luce. Riley Sue Bruns. Cameron James Bunch. Christopher Joseph Burwinkle. Joseph Daniel Cantonwine. Logan Robert Carney. Dane Lewis Karstensen. Isaac Garlema Chakota. Tristan Levi Christensen. Taylor A. Clapp. Colton G. Clark. Madeline Elizabeth Clark. Michaela Page Clark. Savannah Renee Kleppy. Reed Thomas Coates. Carter Allen Cole. Tyler Wayne Colvin. Lane Jacob Cook. Mackenzie Krieger. Madison Mia Danes. McKenna Bailey Davis. Jacob Elijah Dieters. Cooper John DeWoody. Megan May Dillon. Karina Faith Dittmer. Cooper Lee Dobler. Alexandra Leah Donahue. Lolita Joanne Drehos. Avete Dosanejo. Sasha Grace Duval. Cole Michael Ayer. Colton John Engel. Brennan Daniel Urkel. Brianna Jude Fentress. Tyler John Fiala. Alana Lee Finley. Samuel Avery Finley. Taylor Leah Fitch. Summer Rose Forsblom. Bethany Noel Foster. Madison Teresa K. Frericks. Austin Ray Fritz. Neo Kasenga Gady. Noah Riley Gainvers. Sasha Lynn Galdi. Brooke Elizabeth Lynn Glasbrenner. Haley Joanne Gorgon. Austin Michael Grafton. Megan Lucille Green. Cameron James Greeno. Jacob M. Groff. Josephine Page Hancocks. Logan Andrew Hangartner. Sean Matthew Harris. Rebecca Louise Haugen. Nicholas Joseph Heeman. Naya Lalani Ann Henderson. William Henriksen. Avi Maxwell Henriksen. Keegan William Hurtenson. Gavin Darrell Heiler. Sydney N. Holder. Hannah Faith Holmes. Delaney Marissa Hooker. Alicia May Howard. Un Sang Ha. Brady Allen Johnson.
Kaylee Elise Johnson. Lydia Marie Johnston. Jawan Jung. Neva Lynn Kibler. Trenton David King. Nicholas R. Coffrin. Trevor David Coffrin. Chloe K. Kraft. Hunter Allen Cruzy. In memoriam, Taylor Kruger. Corbin Patrick Cruiser. Eon Kate Kuchenbaker. Lauren Kayleen Keithy. Jillian Isabel Kurth. Taylor Nicole Lehman. Kylie Joe Langfit Nagel. Kaba Jordan Lauby. Nikolai Walker Lewis. Jonathan D. Lockhart. Madeline Renee Lovejoy. Micaiah Michelle Mabry. Caleb James Martins. Spencer Dean Mile. Sadie Marie Miller. Caden Joseph Miller Baker. Corey Joseph Morehouse. Kay Lynn Mundy. Jaffer Elias Murphy. Kennedy Elizabeth Neff. Amber Lee Ness. Avery Joe Nichols. Jacoby James Olenhauser. Alec Benjamin Oliphant. Laura Ellen Olson. Jane Sue Orr. Ryan Clarence Osborne. Anna Grace Overman. Audrey Morrigan Peterson. Jasmine Christina Pisano. Gage Martin Poston. Jalen Reed. Ian Johnny Reimers. Jordan Blake Raysack. Delaney Aaron Rice. Jackson Joseph Ringwald. Javelle Marquise Robinson. Isabella Lachey Ann Rooks. Colby David Roskop. Sophia Daniel Roth. Inez Ruiz Ledesma.
Jesse Rusk.
Michaela Renee Sikora. Trenton James Salars. Jonah Jacob Wardell Sams. Audrey Grace Scheel. Samuel Robert Schlitter. Abigail Janelle Schmitz. Grant Logan Schwartz. Hannah Elizabeth Stivers. Hunter William Stolba. Erica Joe Jarks. Caitlin Brenna Topping. Julius Nehemiah Trammell. Madeline K. Tumulty. Aaron Van Alst. Brendan Michael Van Way. Parker James Waddington. Alexis Grace Walker.
Carly Walker.
Sydney Marie Ward. D'Angelo O. Washpin. Olivia Jean Weber. Christina Rose Wenger.
Brandon Whitson.
Cooper Casson Wilson. Sydney K. Wolverton. Dane Robert Wyatt. Brianna Nicole Young. Mariah Leanne Zachman.
To the graduates, you have been an outstanding class throughout your years at Marion High School. I would like to congratulate you for your accomplishments and wish you the very best in your future endeavors. With that said, the ceremony is complete.
Congratulations, seniors. You had a great 4 years. I know the end of this year didn't turn out the way you wanted, but you guys are a strong, great bunch of students. So great job. I know you guys are going to have a good future.
Congratulations to the seniors. What a memory. You guys did a great job.
Nobody else in history has this memory and this experience. It was weird, but you guys rocked it because we are Marion strong, right, Cooper? Yeah, good boy.
Just tell the seniors, hope they had a good year, and I know they got a little longer break, and I hope they enjoyed it, and they're going to have fun at college.
Congratulations and good luck to you guys. Remember this for always. Thanks. Congratulations, class of 2020. Good luck in the future.
Yay, seniors! Class of 2020. We're proud of them. They've been through a lot.
Hey, congrats 2020. 2020. Good work. We go.
MHS 2020.
Wear a mask.
Felicidades! Enhorabuena! Congratulations, 2020!
Congratulations! Congratulations, graduates! Nice job, graduates! Woo! It's one you'll never forget. Yes. Betsy says hi too. Reddick's in the back.
Congratulations, guys. Wish you the very best.
Class of 2020, you've really opened our hearts to be better people just knowing you. We'll never forget you. If you ever need anything from us, the guidance office, please stop by and know that we truly care about you, and we're so glad that we'll be able to be a part of your lives. So you take care. I'll miss you.
Take care of 2020. Love you guys. Take care. Doors always open. Marion High School, guys. So always remember that. Bye, everybody.